This is Fox 13 News.
Parents often use the sex offender registry. They're trying to check on what's going on in their neighborhood when they move to a new home. But a Fox 13 investigation will make you question what you see on those maps.
Fox 13's Zach Crenshaw has been uncovering problems with the system for weeks. Now, Zach, you found out that the majority of sex offenders in downtown Memphis, they don't show up on that map behind you at all.
They don't, Daryl, because 85% of sex offenders in downtown Memphis tell the MPD they're homeless. Some have been convicted of assaulting kids, others of violent rape. More than 150 sex offenders are not on the map downtown, and that's just the beginning of the problems with this registry. Ray Arcutt is a registered violent sex offender. His address on the registry, 934 Bruce. Only problem? I'm looking for Ray Arcutt. Does he live here?
No, we bought this house, I want to say 2 years ago.
When Ray violated guidelines in July, a new arrest warrant was put out for him with a different address, 1773 Evelyn.
He's not here anymore.
Has he had a home lately?
Not that I know of. Under a bridge somewhere.
Ray's old roommate told me he's now homeless, but still committing crimes.
He's a big-time thief and a liar. He stole one of my lawnmowers and my post hole digger.
He's also suspected of taking a woman's $800 bike, but officers haven't found him. Why? Because homeless offenders check in on their own once a month, or at least they're supposed to. Ray hasn't checked in since that July warrant was issued. He's far from alone. Cross-reference even a few of the so-called homeless sex offenders with Shelby County warrants. You'll find offenders like Jeffrey Cummings, Kevin Bennett, Willie Andrews, and Jeremy Garner, who are all homeless on the TBI website, but have actual addresses listed on their more recently issued warrants. Our findings reveal other problems with the system. Offenders aren't always living where the registry says, like Carl Webb, whose address was listed as 242 Poplar, a law office across from the jail. Or Alfonso Parker, who's moved but still in the system, and his last address was the DoubleTree on Union. There is a solution, an industry best practice used by the Tennessee Department of Corrections, which monitors all the sex offenders just out of prison.
We use GPS monitoring to track them. We track them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's accurate, but costly.
It can at times be expensive and require a lot of resources.
It costs $2.75 each day to monitor an offender. If you take the 160 homeless offenders in just 38103, 1 year of GPS monitoring would cost $160,000. It would mean homeless offenders would be easily located at all times, and parents would be able to look them up on the TBI's website. Right now, not one homeless offender shows up on the map. That's important because the TBI found more than 50% of sex offenders end up back in prison. Roughly 19% are arrested again for a similar or more serious offense.
That is the worst thing we can have as a sex offender homeless, so we do everything we can to move them.
That's the state. Now local police departments have to decide if they're going to follow suit. Now, we tried repeatedly to talk to the Memphis Police Department and the Shelby County Sheriff's Office about the inconsistencies with the database and how they monitor homeless sex offenders in particular. Neither unit would go on camera, the sex offender units there. As for the TBI, they told us specifically it's up to local law enforcement to give them the information that updates that registry. So they're not responsible for the addresses or offender information in that database. Ray Arcutt had a warrant out for his arrest more than 3 months now, still not at 201 Poplar.
So let me get this straight. I heard you. The TBI is responsible for the overall database, but neither the MPD nor the Shelby County Sheriff's Office would even give you an email or return? No comment was what they gave you? Because no comment is no answer.
No, I heard I was going to get a statement from MPD, but did not end up getting that. And, you know, I talked to some people in that unit, kind of off the record, outside of government buildings. They told me they think a law needs to change, that maybe state lawmakers need to get involved and say you can only be homeless for X amount of months before you have to declare an address. Also, it's very hard to nail that down unless they have a job bill, an MLGW bill, something that says they are at this address. If someone tells them they're homeless, they kind of got to take that offender at their word. So a very difficult predicament for police to be in, but clearly something needs to be done.
Understood, but the people of this region deserve an answer.
They absolutely do.